Hey all, as we're entering the second half of October, I have been wanting some traditional cold weather teas, and so I picked up this Masala Kai from the Tea Smith, and it says, "It's a big world, drink it up." That was stamped on the box as well. They have packaging that is the same for all of the teas I got. And to know what you got, they handwrite it here on the back. And the date you ordered it and how much. And there's your brewing instructions. So this tea smells delightful, like traditional masala chai. Here is the liquid, what it looks like, and the color. I like to share what my brews actually look like. Here is the tea on my butter dish that I love. And so, as always, I love getting tea like this and picking apart the pieces and trying to figure out what they are. And so, I have figured out the ones in the middle there are cinnamon, like cinnamon bark. The one on the left there is ginger root. I was confused by it at first, and I had to get online and Google what my spices look like. And I believe the two in the front are cardamom, and I'm going to show you some pictures of that in my tasting notes that I found online. And I'm not sure from the list, because I got the list from their website, I'm not sure what these leafy grassy pieces are. You see, there's another one there. It looks like lemongrass, but there's nothing on the list that that gives lend to that. So I'm not sure what it is. But so here is what the wet looks like. Okay, so here's my tea tasting notes. And you see they call it traditional masala chai, Indian black tea. The Tea Smith is the company out of Omaha, Nebraska. Today's date. And black tea. So its origin, it does say on the website, obviously in the name, it's from India, but it does not give a specific region of India. But traditionally, chai is made with Assam tea from Assam. So I'm going to assume that that's what this is. Processing, we don't have whole leaves. You know, we don't have, they're small little broken pieces of tea, which is common. Fully oxidized, of course, for black tea. And sometimes I think they call this CTC or crushed tear curl. I'm not sure. But I do believe that that might be applicable here. For my notes, here's the ingredient list off the website. Black tea, ginger root, green cardamom, cinnamon, ginger again, and vanilla flavors. So I like it that there's not a whole lot of flavoring in here. It's just the vanilla flavoring, because I tend to shy away from teas with flavoring. So to identify the pieces, I had to Google, and this is what green cardamom pods look like. And this is apparently what traditional masala chai is all about. And it looks like there's two kinds, and the green is on the right. But I said, well, that didn't look like any of my pieces. So I continued looking, and I found this one. So there's the green cardamom pods, And inside are the little black bits. So when you go back over here, I am pretty certain that's, especially the black one on the left, is what that is. And actually with my own eyes, I said that looks like a little piece of gold. It's got a gold shimmer to it, which is kind of fun. So back to my notes. So this is what ginger root looks like, and I went, aha, that's what those big yellow pieces are in my tea. That was obvious. And then it lists ginger again by itself in the ingredient list, and I'm going to assume that since I can't see anything else that might be applicable, unless it's this one here, unless it's that one that's a lighter colored, unless that's ginger, regular ginger, I'm going to assume that it is a ground ginger and that you can't really see that ingredient. So, continuing on with my notes, I learned this last year. I thought it was fun. The chai is the Hindi word for tea, which is derived from cha, the Chinese word for tea. So to say chai tea is to say tea tea. So never say chai tea, because chai is tea. I'll back up in my notes. Chai is a distinct blend of black tea and spices which is prepared with milk and sweetened, often called a chai latte. But I wanted to stick true to all of my other tasting notes and taste this like I did all of my other kinds of teas with the Gaiwan, and make my notes with that. And now after I get done videoing this, I'm going to make it the traditional way with milk and sweetener and taste it again. So in India, masala, I was like, well, what's masala mean? It means spice, so it's spice tea in India is how it is translated. But there are many blends of chai, but masala is the traditional blend. So you can go out there and find all different kinds of blends. Read the ingredient lists and find ingredients you like and go after those. The Indians view tea as an herbal medicine rather than a recreational beverage. But here in America, you know, we're called the West sometimes in the tea culture. We have turned it into a chai latte. That's what most people think of. On the spectrum of color, it's a traditional brown. And the aroma flavor is the bakery spice category. It smells like well-known traditional chai smells to me. That's what it smells like. So I tried to smell carefully to pick out the different smells, and I know what cinnamon smells like. I did not smell it. And I suppose I smell cardamom, but I suppose I need to buy the spice alone to compare it to really know. So that's going to be on my to-do list to continue to learn about tea. I'm going to go buy me some cardamom next time I go to the store. I did get out my spice jar of ground ginger, and I smelled it, and I do think I was able to pick it out. I generally don't even keep ginger in my spice jar because I'm not a big ginger fan. In fact, if it says ginger on teas, I generally shy away from buying them, but except for in this. I'm not a big fan of the masala smell. I mean, I pick it up, but it's a learned cold weather comfort smell that I've come to enjoy, and I do like to have it once a year. Astringency, I put as bright light, which is rather low, and I'm pleasantly surprised because I've had so many Assam teas that they're all very astringent, and I just don't like astringent tea. But I did brew it in the Gaiwan for only 30 to 60 seconds. So, and I did use a less amount of tea on purpose because I wanted to set myself up for success. And so, I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really was. I was sitting here expecting that astringent flavor of Assam teas that I do not like, and that's why I don't buy them. And maybe this is a different kind of black tea. They didn't tell me. They said it was an Indian tea, but it could have been a different part of India. The second steam, I did time for 2 minutes, and it didn't change it. And the third steep, which is what you see here in the video, I did time it for 3 minutes, and it didn't change much, although I think this is my last steep. Yeah, it's getting, the medium body I had with the first one is like almost watery now. The taste, I didn't know quite where to go with the taste. And this is a different notes for taste than my normal specific, it tastes like flavors. For the first steep, though, I felt the tea flavor itself came out, and like regular tea flavor, and it was not overtaken by the spices, as is usually the case. So when I've had masala chai before, it is so strong. I mean, so strong. And I feel like this is lighter. Even the smell is lighter. I think this is a better blend for me personally. Now, I don't know if that's going to come through when I make my sugar and milk version here in a minute. I think a lot of times people, they are made very strong on purpose so that they can be made into the lattes. But this one, my goal is to not have sugar. I don't want to put sugar in my tea all the time because that's not healthy. And I want to find teas that I can drink without sugar. And I always have under the impression I could never do that with a chai. And here we go. I can drink this one without sugar. I'm super shocked, really. So it may turn out to not be as good with sugar and milk, but it's definitely good without it. The first steep, I felt most of the taste of the spice came in the lingering finish on the back of my tongue, which was quite pleasant. So I didn't taste the spice so much when I drank the tea, but I did taste it after I swallowed in the finish, and it lingered on the back of my throat, and it was quite pleasant. I gave this tea 4 stars. I did like it. I would buy it again, but it's something I only keep during cold months, so it's not something I would keep on hand, which is what requires 5 stars. So here we are, warming up some water to boiling. I put the lid on so that it would boil quicker. I did add a lot of water because I've filled this up quite a bit, over halfway. I might put a little bit more in, but it needs to be able to move around in the basket. So I've got a lot of tea for a lot of water, and I'm just going to set this basket down in there when I'm ready. And there's my poor zinnias. That's the last of them because they're only going to be there a couple more days, but it's the end of the season and we dug them all up, and that's what's left. I feel like everyone has their own way of making chai, but my water just came to a rolling boil, and I just turned it off. And now I'm going to add some cream, just enough to cloud the water. And this, of course, quickly becomes almost boiling, and I don't want it to curdle. And that's why I do it that way rather than boiling the cream or the milk. And now I'm just going to set that in there. And I like my chai tea steeped in the milk or in the cream so that it also gets infused rather than adding it after the fact. And I've gotten out a couple glass mugs so we can actually see our tea when we're done. These are great for iced tea and hot tea. Had them for a long time, and I actually have a milk steamer. I may do a little bit of the cream in there so that I can pour it on and have that fun foam at the top. And so, steep away. Okay, sometimes I cannot believe myself. So there was way too much tea in my strainer for it to float around loosely and steep well, so I dumped it out right in my pan to let it steep, and then when I get ready to drink it, I'm gonna strain it that way. And I decided to get all crazy, so I have this sugar that's natural sugar, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit in at a time and taste it instead of putting in the sugar in a cup afterwards. And here's the finished tea, or I should say masala chai or kai. I don't know which way they say it. Doesn't it look fun? Mm-hmm. And so I did let it steep for a little longer since I learned in my tasting, so good to do tasting notes, that I could steep this without it getting too astringent. And I did make some foam, and I did put a little cinnamon on top just because it made it look fun. And I do have here a little bit more for us to add to our cup, but not much more. I'm surprised. Here we go. We're going to do a tea tasting. You ready? I'm going to hand it to him. Tell me what you think.
Oh, it's good for my face.
Is it warm, comforting?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Like cozy up with a good book on the patio.
Yes, indeed. I will second that.
I gotta try mine. Oh yeah. I actually really like this brand because it is less powerful than the other ones. It's just perfect. It really is. They did a really good job. I'm impressed. I gotta have some more. It is such a beautiful, gorgeous fall day. Beautiful breeze. We're busy taking the banana plants in. But this masala chai is disappearing quickly.